So many photographers are blogging but are missing out on key elements that will make them never rank. Hey, I'm KP and I'm the founder of Inkpot Creative. My studio helps photographers just like you grow sustainably through SEO blogging. And by the end of this video, you'll know 5 of the absolute worst pieces of advice that I've seen going around for blogging as a photographer. Also, if you're interested in learning more about our SEO blogging service for photographers, we'll leave some more information for that down below. The first myth that I hear all the time is that you will not see results if you're not consistent. This is so not true. While you of course can get a lot more of what I like to call snowball effect, if you are blogging a lot more, you can actually still see pretty good results even with one post that's extremely well optimized. However, keep in mind that you do need to be writing posts with SEO in mind or you will not rank. The consistency myth is one that we hear all the time, and I'm sure it's probably even deterred you from writing posts before, so I really hope that kind of busting that myth will help you see the power in blogging. Myth number 2 is that you should only be blogging about your work. While blogging about your work as a photographer is one of the best ways to actually show off what you do, you also need to remember the goal and the reason why we write blog posts and why people actually click on blog posts from Google. And that's because they want to be educated. So when you're writing your posts, the goal should be to actually educate your audience. Obviously, if we're blogging, we probably want something like a conversion from our reader, but at the end of the day, the person that's landing on your post is just looking for an answer. And if they happen to click on your blog post from Google, then your post better give that answer, or they'll just leave the post and go click on somebody else's. Personally at Inkpot, we always recommend that our clients do a solid mix of different types of posts. Usually for photographers, our recommendation is educational posts, as well as some gallery or portfolio-esque posts, mostly because these more educational type posts are going to be the ones that are going to basically get a lot more traffic. That's at least what we've seen personally. Of course, this isn't always the case. We do have a few photographers who are getting more traffic to their portfolio items, but just in general, the posts that are a little bit more BuzzFeed-esque, as I like to say, tend to be more clickable and tend to get more searches on Google, which then of course results in more traffic for you. And when I say BuzzFeed-esque, I pretty much mean those more like list style educational posts. So things like best venues in your area or any other type of list posts like that. It's one thing for me to just be kind of telling you all of this, but it is another for me to actually have an example. So there is a Southern-based photographer that we have been writing for a little bit over a year now. And for her in particular, we've heavily been focusing on a lot of educational type content. We wrote articles like the best photo spots in her city, how to pose for engagement photos, and where to actually elope within her state. We did all of this after doing lots of keyword research specifically in her area and trying to think of the different questions that her audience is usually asking before they actually inquire with a photographer. Quite a few of these posts now get hundreds of clicks per month, which has really helped her to snowball her traffic. And she's even mentioned that she's gotten some clients specifically from people who are visiting her site from Google. They go over to her blog, look around, and really see that she knows what she's talking about, which in turn has helped them feel comfortable inquiring because she's able to pretty much show that she is an expert in her area. If there's a myth that has surprised you the most so far, go ahead, leave a comment down below. Point number 3, you don't need alt text for your images and you need a lot of photos. So honestly, you do not need a lot of photos for blog posts. This is one that we hear all the time, and I know it is probably also a little hard to hear as a photographer. You truly only want photos that are going to illustrate your article because again, the goal is to educate, not necessarily to just be showing off all of your work and posting full galleries. What we recommend is having a set of photos per each heading in your article, usually no more than 6. If you're in something like WordPress, there is a really great gallery block that you can use to pretty much show a little bit more of your work in a condensed space. And yes, all of your photos do need alt text. I literally just saw a thread yesterday that was talking about how photographers don't need to write alt text for all of their photos on their blog. I completely disagree with that. You do need to write alt text for all of your images. And honestly, yes, it can be good for SEO, especially if you're adding locations into your actual alt text, but genuinely it is for accessibility. And in today's day and age, you need to have a website that is accessible. And also, if you do struggle to write alt text for your images, there are so many great resources online. One that I found is that you can actually train ChatGPT to write alt text for you. There's also a really great GPT called She Knows Alt Text if you do have the Plus version of ChatGPT or whatever they call it now, and it will literally write the alt text for you. Myth number 4, and this is one that breaks my heart because I see it all the time, is that the title of your post should just be the name of the couple that you're writing about. This is one of the biggest mistakes that I see, and of course there is a time and a place for doing something like this. Maybe if you are genuinely just writing a blog post for the couple and you don't really care if it ranks or anything, it's totally fine. But if your goal is to actually rank on Google and get traffic, this is not what you want to be doing. The reason why is because people might not necessarily care to read about Karen and Ben's elopement, but they might actually want to know about the venue that they eloped at, right? So you really need to make sure you're focusing on the right part of the event that you captured in your article. Now, at the end of the day, your title should not be clickbaity, it should be emotional, and it is okay to use the couple's name in it if it is not the main focus. So you don't want to just call it like Karen and Ben's wedding. Instead, you could be like an elopement at the Little Las Vegas Wedding Chapel with Karen and Ben. So you can add their name at the end, but you could, focus on the actual venue or something like that instead. Myth number 5 is that nobody reads blog posts anymore. And I see this one all the time and I'm like, who even started this rumor? This is so not true, and so many people read blog posts. To be honest, you probably read one last night when you were wondering how exactly to make chicken parm for dinner. So many people read blog posts. Our clients in particular are seeing growth in their traffic, growth in their inquiries that are coming organically to them from Google through blogging. So genuinely, don't sleep on it. If this video made you realize that you want to start blogging more, we do have a free gift for you. It is 60 free blog post ideas specifically tailored to photographers, which you can get down in the description below. If you liked this video, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button, and I will catch you in the next one.